새로운 시작은 늘 설레게 하지 모든 걸 이겨낼 것처럼.
Do you trust your partner to finish this task for 5 minutes?
I think so.
Do you trust your partner to finish this task for 5 minutes?
Of course, we believe in our capacity. Where are you? Words. What would it be? Okay. Provide the list of available learning resources. So enumerate in bullet form and tells the characteristic and unique capabilities and teaching approaches where the resource is most useful. So the first one is the print resources. There are modules, textbooks, worksheets, and carpets. These resources can make your teaching more organized, clarity, and interesting. And the teacher's approaches, it is most useful when giving activities to have a clear visual to be readable. Next is audio resources. So we have speakers and lapel. So the characteristics of audio resources is to make your teaching. Characteristics of the audio resources is to make it more clear, concrete to the learning of the learners. Next is the teaching approaches where the resources is most useful is to catch the attention of every learner. Next is the non-electronic visual resources. So these are the objects or realia. So learners will relate into manipulating objects such as touching, smelling, tasting, and other. Where the non-electronic visual resources is most useful is to make the learning more meaningful and easily to understand well, especially on subject matter like science, math. Is the ICT resources. So this is the laptop and television. So the characteristics I mean is it is easy access, very timely and relevant to the 21st century learners. And these teaching approaches where the resource is most useful is first is in a class routine wherein the teacher is making the flag ceremony, exercise, and other routines. And at the very start of the class as a motivation and use for giving an activity. Next, Okay. So, I have here the first question. So, are the learning resources or materials arranged properly according to their functions and characteristics? To answer for that question, yes. Based on our observation, learning materials or resources helps the teacher to be more convenient rather and to make their learning more exciting. Let's find the next question. Oh, here it is. Next. guidelines and procedures facilitate easy access to the materials by the teacher? Why or why not? Yes, the guidelines and procedures that facilitate for the materials by the teacher is easy access because it will guide the teacher on how to use it inside of the classroom. I'm ready for the next question. Let's go. So the third question, what are the strengths of this learning resource center? So learning resource center, as what I have said, teacher will be more convenient. It is easy access and it helps the teacher to be more competitive as to meet the needs of first century learners. There it is. The fourth question. Oh, it falls and I'm not. So the fourth question, are the weaknesses of the Learning Resource Center? So mostly that it is limited and the all of the teacher is not 21st century teachers. So there are still remains in a traditional way of teaching. So some of the teachers refuse to be knowledgeable about the technology. Other teachers is willing to be more engaged in the technology. So that's it for the weaknesses of the Learning Resource Center. Next, find another question. If there is a question. This one. Reflect. Okay. Which of the materials in the Learning Resource Center caught your interest the most? That caught me most is the television because it is useful especially for the kids because their focus and interest is on the television. Next. Oh, this one. Pen. Okay. So the question, which gadgets, materials are you already confident to use and operate? So there are two. First is the laptop and the cell phone. But the most convenient for me and I'm most confident to use is the cell phone. Third and the last, I think. Where you are? The last one, I know that Lilibet is waiting for me, so he won't wait. Last, which ones do you feel you need to learn more about? I think it's the laptop because I'm not literate to use the laptop since I have many things to discover from the laptop. So that's it.
Hi everybody, and now it's my turn. Let's find question number 1. Here. What is the subject matter? The subject matter is about the figure of speech, specifically the simile. Here. So how did you choose the electronic resources that you use? So my critic teacher used the electronic resources that is convenient and available in her classroom, just like computer, laptop, and the television. Next, question number 3. So, is the teaching aids used appropriate? Of course, because it is needed for the kids to understand the discussion about the simile. Question number 5. Here. So what did he or she consider? she considered the availability and when the materials is near to her and for easy access. Let's find question number 6. So what is the characteristic of the learning environment that you observe? The characteristic of the learning environment that I observe, it is positive, and also children are very engaging and participating when the teacher is discussing her lesson. Next. Here. So what are the teaching aids used? So my critic teacher uses the module in English when she is discussing the lesson. Also, there are printed pictures and she uses the electronic resources such as the television, the laptop to print pictures for the students to compare and use when listening and discussing the lesson. Let's find the other question. Here. So, did the teacher surf and browse the internet for the learning resources that must be used? It is easy or difficult? Yes, of course. The teacher uses and surf and browse the internet for the learning resources that must be used, especially when, for example, she needed pictures to the student to easily understood by the students, and I think it is easy and convenient for her. Now, let's move on. So, what are the weaknesses of the teaching aids used? Sometimes, the students might be lose focus rather than the learning. Also, there is no much interactivity and there will be no skills to develop. Now, so what are the teacher's objective? Of course, the teacher's objective in discussing the lesson is to impart knowledge to the students, to make her students understand the things that she is discussing, and also for the learners that there is something that they can learn when the teacher is discussing her lesson. Here. So what are the skills that the teacher developed among his students? I think the skills that the teacher developed among his students, for example, they can create bond, because when given activities, he or she allow his students to group themselves to answer the activity that she is giving, and also collaboration with their classmates. Now, I think for the last question, I think this is the last question. So what are the strengths of the teaching aids used by the teacher? The strength, of course, is that it makes the learning more permanent, it stimulates the interest of the learner, and also it is easy for the students to understand when the teacher is using learning materials when she is discussing the lesson. So I think that is the end of my part.
Another task? Finished.
First question, what made it easy or difficult in your experience in choosing appropriate electronic resources? Surfing the internet, it made it so easy because I have the prior knowledge on how to or on how to cite these resources or what are the sources needed. Next one is, they made it easy for me. So how did you choose which electronic resources to include? What did you consider? Explain which of the new trends in Education 4.0 would you like to explore more for your work as a teacher? So how did I choose? I chose according to its uses and availability. If the app is portable and easy to use or to apply, then it is the suited sources for teaching and learning. I also want to apply the use of digital in every discussion to incorporate engagement and extension of resources. Next one is reflect on your technology skills. What skills do you already have and what skills would you continue to work on to be better on utilizing Education 4.0 resources? So I have the skills to manipulate the technology, and to be better, I would consistently make use of these available resources to instill knowledge through the use of technology. That's it for my part.
Participation is a must, so let's see if I can help these girls. So let's find that question. Ooh, side. First question. Question goes, according to the 7 domain of PPST, find each of the following competencies you want to work on, the MOOCs related to the competency or competencies, and the MOOC provided. So, to answer this, so there are 7 PPST domains. So the first one domain is the content, knowledge, and pedagogy. So, competencies I want to work on with this domain is the positive use of ICT. The MOOCs related to the competencies, the ICT or the information and communication technology, and accessibility. It teaches students ICT accessibility and the principles of ICT design. And the MOOC provider is the edX. Second domain is the learning environment. The competencies I want to work on in the learning environment is organizing the learning environment. The MOOCs related to the competency or competencies is happiness and resilience at work. This online program gives introduction to happiness in companies and organizations. The MOOC provider of this is edX. Third is the diversity of learners. The competencies I want to work on with this is how to help students understand diversity. The MOOCs related to the competency or competencies is understanding diversity and inclusion. This course explores diversity and aims to support learners to create more inclusive and open environments. And the MOOC provider of this is Future Learn. The fourth PPST domain is the curriculum and planning. The competencies I want to work on with this is understanding curriculum. And the MOOCs related to the competency or competencies is the university teaching. The course is designed for academic teachers and learners who are planning to get involved in teaching in the university. And the MOOC provider of this is the Coursera. The fifth PPST domain is assessing and reporting. The competencies I want to work on with this is understand the proper use of assessment and determining the knowledge of the student. And the MOOCs related to the competency is self-assessment, developing your strengths. This career development course will help students to assess their strengths and interests so they can strategize their career opportunities. And the MOOC provider of this is edX. The sixth one is the community linkages and professional engagement. The competencies I want to work on to this is teacher-parent relationship. So, the MOOCs related to the competency is the teacher and social and emotional learning, or SEL, or specialization. This series of online courses teaches how to connect emotionally with students and the school community. And the MOOC provider of this is the Coursera. The last one, PPST domain, is the personal growth and professional development. The competency I want to work on to this is to master the philosophy of teaching. And the box related to the competency is philosophy and critical thinking. This course teaches how to think with clarity and rigor, how to identify and analyze and construct cogent arguments, and how to think of solutions to the several problems of philosophy. And the MOOC provider of this is edX. So, I'm done answering this. Let's go find the other question.
Cool.
Found it. So, question goes this way. From among the MOOCs explored, pick at least 3 which you believe are the most appropriate for you. Describe the MOOCs below. So find the MOOC. So provide the MOOC title, provide the objectives of the MOOC, content outline. Last, why did you pick this MOOC? The MOOC title of the first one is Introduction to Computer Science. The provider is the edX. And the objectives of the MOOC is, it is an online version of Harvard's introductory CS50 class. The content outline is algorithm, cybersecurity, software, and web development. And why did you pick this MOOC? I picked this MOOC because it is very important nowadays to know about computer science, since we are living in the technology world, and knowing this may help us to be secure in using our computers and transactions online. So the second MOOC title I chose is Justice. Provider is edX. Objectives of the MOOC, it is an online version of one of the most courses taught at Harvard College. And the content online is Introduction to Moral Philosophy. So why did you pick this MOOC? I picked this MOOC because it is important to actually learn proper ethics so that we will live a life peacefully and knows what is right and wrong. So the third MOOC title is The Science of Happiness. Provider is edX, and the objectives of the MOOC, these online courses explore the roots of a happy and meaningful life. The content outline is Science of Positive Psychology. So why did you pick this MOOC? I picked this MOOC because in our institution nowadays, that is very depressing. We need to look for positive influences in our lives in order to thrive and fight. That's all.
Hi, it's me again. How do we divide the 3 questions? Come here. Oh, I saw. Let's see what's this question inside. Question number 1. How can MOOCs help you in the future career as a professional teacher as long life learning? MOOCs offer affordable and flexible way to learn new skills, advance career, and deliver quality education experiences. And now, let's find the second one. I got it. Question number 2. What did you learn from the way that providers use technology to teach in the MOOCs? Massive open online courses are a recent addition to the range of online learning options. It puts new education technology in the broader scholarship and history context. Notes briefly higher education institution, responses, and purposes. Come here, let's find the last question. I get it! For the last question is, how will you prepare yourself for MOOCs as a learner, as a teacher who may someday teach on a MOOCs? By going through the online technology courses, you truly get to know the changes in the internet, technology, and how it enhances the way you learn and you teach through MOOCs. The way you explain your students, MOOCs will help you to learn using technology in the classroom through your hands-on experiences and allow them to more be interactive course structure.
Yes, we answered the 3 questions. Bye-bye! I guess let's find another question. Oh, hi! What's this? Okay. So this is the first task. Whoa! It's too long. Our first one. Mrs. Into is evaluating a website for her literature class. She is making sure that factual pieces of information found at the site are well documented and pictures and diagrams are properly labeled. She is also checking that there are no misspelled words nor grammar errors. So which criteria is she focusing on? So it would be accuracy. Next is Ms. Castro is evaluating an early literacy app for her kindergartners. She is making sure that the app is uncluttered in appearance, is arranged in some order of difficulty, and that icons represent what they were intended to represent. Which criterion is she focusing on? Well, it is appropriateness. Third is Ms. Tanada is evaluating an app for her grade 8 science class. She is finding out whether the app has the skills found in grade 8 standards to ensure that this app will help meet her objectives. She wants to make sure it is not easy or too difficult for her students. So which criterion is she focusing on? I think it is appropriateness. So number 4, a science teacher uses a PowerPoint presentation to show the classification in Kingdom Animalia. So the teacher then teaches them how to use a software and making graphic organizers. Students then use this to create their own graphic organizers to classify animals. This shows technology integration, which is entry constructed. Fifth is teacher A demonstrates how to work with a map that provides practice in adding mixed fractions. The students then work independently with the app to provide them sufficient practice in adding mixed fractions. So this shows technology integration, which is adaptation active. 6, I think. A grade 7 social studies teacher gave a project where her class in Manila will work together with other grade 7 classes in their school campuses in Visayas and Mindanao. They will create posters and a video clip to communicate a message about peace. They will use social media to spread their peace campaign. This product involves technology integration, which is adaptation collaborative. 7, come here. 7. All are responsibilities of the Learning Resources Audiovisual Educational Technology Center of a school except it is to accomplish the students' technology project for them. Next, 8. The Learning Resource Audiovisual Educational Technology Center regularly provides teachers a list of websites, apps, and instructional materials available in the city which are relevant to the different subjects they teach. So this fulfills which function, of course, the Center of Resources. Next is the Learning Resource Audiovisual Educational Technology Center sponsors a seminar workshop for teachers and administrators on the use of the latest presenter application. So this fulfills which function? Of course, is the coordinating agency. So then, MOOCs are considered massive because they can accommodate a big number of learners. Next, MOOCs are open because, of course, Courses can be accessed by anyone, anywhere, as long as they are connected to the internet. Last, MOOCs are considered as a course because, of course, they have a guide or a syllabus that indicates content, objectives, activities, and assessments. So let's go find another last question. Okay, I think this will be the last so that I can accomplish the last mission. So that I can pass the last station. What? So the title of this task is Show Your Learning Artifacts. First is include pictures, illustrations of the materials used by the teacher. Put your comments, annotations about what you observed. Second is to visit www.teachnology.com and indicate how they might be useful considering your major or area of specialization or specialization. Third is visit www.edudemec.com and explore and enjoy the fantastic educational tools. Then visit edtechteacher.org and explore and share what you learn. And the last is paste an article about an example of technology gadget material that you want to learn more about and how can this gadget material be useful in instruction teaching. Okay, so that's all the tasks, and I'm well prepared. So this is the proof of my observation at grade 3 Celine. Okay, let me explain to you my observation. So, as you can see, Teacher Reyes or Miss Reyes is using her phone, laptop, and television and speaker in delivering her lesson. So here, she used her phone to document the learners who are reading a story. Next is she makes the learners watch the story about the golden hair. And it is integrated with a laptop connected to the television, and the television is connected to the speaker. So that's it. And I also visit those websites, and my comment is that, or my opinion is that it is easy access. It is good for the teacher and the students to use it as educational purposes. And the last, so this is what I found. Let's go back. So this is an article about technology gadget or material that I want to learn more about. So it is entitled Classroom Gadgets Using Technology to Enhance Learning. Now at the 21st century, we are dealing with the students who are more equipped, more knowledgeable, and more advantageous and more advanced in knowing the technology. As we are teachers, we need to meet those expectations, and we need to be more knowledgeable and skillful. So that's it for the task, and we are about to finish, and we will accomplish this. See you around.
삶을 향